Hey guys, it's your Designisme. Welcome back to Designisme Daily, where we design our own clothes, we design our own business, and we design our own lives. And in today's video, it is Thursday. I have literally been up since, I don't even want to say 7 a.m. because our newest little boy has been attached to my boobs all night. But when my alarm went off this morning, I was extremely exhausted, and I ended up sleeping up until 8 a.m. Matter of fact, it could have been, I think I slept until like about 8:15 or 8:30 a.m. So you guys know that I do teach my sewing classes on Thursdays through Sundays. So my first student literally arrived at around like minutes to 9. I think she came pretty early this morning. So when she got here, I was like now getting up, now getting tea, now basically getting my life. So I've been in classes more or less from 8 a.m. this morning up until 8 p.m. which was like an hour ago because I'm filming this in real time. I promise you guys that I'll be uploading a video every single day for the rest of the month, and I really wanted to stay committed to that. So I just got done with classes for the day. I had 3 classes back to back today, so I literally just got done. And I just wanted to hop on and just chat with you guys for a little bit. And seeing that our littlest boy was attached to my boobs literally for the entire night as well as throughout the entire day, I figured what better topic for us to discuss than breastfeeding. This is obviously part of my postpartum series. Our littlest boy is officially 2 weeks old today. I feel like today was just a I spent a lot of time reflecting on my breastfeeding journey thus far. I would have mentioned in like a previous video that I've been enjoying breastfeeding this time around, and I feel like all of the things that I experienced with Aiden, as you guys know, Aiden is my 4-year-old son, all the things that I would have experienced while I was breastfeeding him compared to like now, I'm trying my best not to repeat the same mistakes, obviously, because maybe this journey that we're on is all about growth. All right. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of hop on here and share with you guys a couple of the mistakes that I made with my first son, the things that I intend to do differently, and just what my journey has been like over the past 2 weeks. So let's just go ahead and jump into today's video.
We know we can't water it doesn't grow. Give up, let it go. But we fell apart just in time.
First things first, one of the major mistakes that I made with breastfeeding Aiden was I literally just kept him on my left boob, and I found that my left boob was always significantly larger than the right boob because he was constantly on this boob. Now here's the hack for breastfeeding and helping your milk supply to come in on a more rapid basis. I don't know what the science is behind breastfeeding, but the more stimulation you have going on in your boobs is the more your boobs are going to manufacture milk. All right. At first, like when you give birth, obviously you don't have like a lot of milk in your boobs. However, my doctors and my nurses did recommend that I still put him on the boob and kind of interchange left to right to avoid one boob manufacturing milk more rapidly than the other. So that is one of the mistakes that I made with Aiden. I literally just kept him on my left boob, and I found that my left boob was always significantly larger than the right boob because he was constantly on this boob. So one of the things that I'm making sure not to do this time around is I don't have like a favorite boob that I'm giving to this baby. I am literally just maintaining the balance between the left and the right so that I have perfectly proportioned tits. Because baby, let's be real, we really don't want to be walking around here with one side bigger than the other, or at least significantly bigger than the other. We want to still feel, confident and comfortable in our own bodies. There's so many things that change after you give birth to a child and even before, but especially after. The more things that you can look at and be proud of is the better. So that's definitely the first mistake that I made, and most important thing that I am making sure not to repeat this time around. So I'm definitely interchanging on both boobs. I don't have a favorite boob this time around. Maybe he's gonna get these 2 boobs, and that's just gonna be that on that. Okay, so number 2, one of the things that I regret the most with breastfeeding Aiden was the fact that I did not breastfeed for long enough. And the reason I stopped breastfeeding at 5 months, like he was literally 5 months when I weaned him off of the boob, the reason for that was I was losing so much weight through breastfeeding that I would literally look at myself and I would feel I didn't feel happy with what I saw when I looked in the mirror, and I knew it was because I was breastfeeding, right? So even though I knew, breastfeeding him was the best thing for him, I chose to make a selfish decision by weaning him off at 5 months because I just wanted to start back, using my supplements for weight gain. I wanted to, start back working out. I just wanted to get back to myself as soon as possible. And that was one of the ways that I chose to get back to myself at his expense, unfortunately. So this time around, I'm definitely not, maybe I made a pact with myself and God. I was like, listen, this time around, I am going to enjoy everything that breastfeeding has to offer. He is going to suck on these boobs until he feels like he got everything that he needed from these boobs. And when he decides that it was enough, then we're going to stop. Either that or until I decide that I want to get a boob job, because baby, ain't no way. The one thing that they don't tell you is that when you're breastfeeding, obviously your boobs look amazing because it's all filled and it's all plumped and it's all sitting pretty. But baby, the moment you stop breastfeeding and your milk supply dries up, your boobs literally start looking like wet socks. Like, let's have a conversation about that. All right. So as much as I wanted to get back to myself, when I did stop breastfeeding, I actually hated my boobs that much more because they were literally like just skin, just hanging around. Like I wasn't happy with the way that my boobs looked afterwards. And I even tried to get my milk supply to come back. So I don't know. I learned my lesson the first time around, that's for sure. So we're gonna breastfeed our littlest boy for as long as he wants to breastfeed, as long as he wants these tits are his. Or like I said before, until I decide to get a boob job, and then, well, we can call it a day. But I definitely intend to stay committed to breastfeeding for at least a year. And then we're going to revisit this conversation after a year and see what's up. So the third thing that I definitely regret with breastfeeding Aiden was, I don't even want to say that I regret this part, but it wasn't the best thing as it relates to the side of discipline. They always recommend not having your baby sleep in the same bed with you, but because it was so convenient to just have him there with me and just put him on the boob for the minute he started crying, I just found it more convenient. So most times he would always be on the bed with me. He would sleep through the night with me. He would always be on the boob in the bed with me. And most times he would never be in his crib. So this time around, our littlest boy is actually sleeping in, ooh, hi buddy. So Aiden just came running. He just opened my door and he left it open and then ran away. So talk about a subtle interruption. Alright guys, so I brought him in with me. So if you hear little coos or little sounds, just know that he's in here with me, but he's trying to be on his best behavior. Right, so as I was saying, the third thing is not something that I regret, but it's definitely, it's not the most ideal thing if you want your child to be a disciplined sleeper, or if you want your child to sleep in his crib or sleep in her bed, etc. So the reason why I say I don't really regret this is because even up to this moment with our littlest boy, he still sleeps in my bed. Because like I said before, I find it so convenient to simply stick a boob in his mouth when he, wakes up during the night, as opposed to, getting up and going to his crib and then feeding him on a separate seat and then putting him down. Baby, I'm a full-time business owner. All right, but I'm also a full-time mommy. So I'm gonna get this sleep wherever I could get this sleep. Let's just put it like that. So yeah, it's not something that I necessarily regret, but it's definitely, I want to and I intend to, you know, incorporate a little more structure in terms of how I discipline this baby, you know, in the realm of sleep and like independent sleeping through more curved breastfeeding during the night habits. And I'm saying that and I haven't started yet. So, you know what? At this point, who am I fooling? We're going to see how that goes. We more or less going to see how that goes. Some advice that I would give to new mommies if you are wanting to like breastfeed your baby, or because I've never had an issue with like my milk supply and breastfeeding my children, I cannot really relate to another mom who is having problems breastfeeding. But I will say this: the amount of water that you drink is so important. It plays a significant role in your production of milk. All right, your milk supply. You want to drink like a ton of water. You want to drink like a ton of teas. You obviously want to stay away from alcohol and caffeine. I have replaced my craving for like caffeine, especially because I'm working. Like I didn't stop working. I worked up until I gave birth to my son 2 weeks ago, and I'm literally back. I'm literally back to work. Like I started back my classes a week later, a week after, you know, giving birth to our littlest boy. So as much as I would love to have a cup of coffee, I have replaced that coffee craving with matcha, like matcha teas and matcha lattes. So I get my energy from drinking matcha. And I feel like I'm gonna film like a what I eat in a day video. If you guys are interested in that, then definitely let me know in the comments down below, and I will film what I eat in a day to probably like increase my milk production. So let me know if you guys want to see that. And of course, just remember, even if you are not seeing a single drop of milk come out from your tatas, allow your baby to still latch onto each boob and pull as much as he could pull, because that stimulation is literally what creates and helps your boobs to produce the milk that your baby needs. So even if within the first couple of days of giving birth to your child, you do not see one single drop of colostrum, one single drop of milk, stay committed to the cause. All right, stay committed. Keep putting your baby on each boob, interchanging, and allow the stimulation to do what it's supposed to do. I have not bought a breast pump yet. I really want to invest in a good breast pump, a good breast pump. I want one that literally attaches to both of my boobs. It obviously has to be electric. So I am looking at a few different options as we speak. But I will definitely start pumping as much as I could. I want to store as much milk as I possibly could. And I do intend to drink my own breast milk. I don't know if that's TMI. I don't know if that's like a thing, but baby, it's about to be a thing for me. So that's just what it's going to be. While I was breastfeeding Eden, I did drink my own milk a couple of times because I felt like if it's super, super healthy for him, then I might as well just, you know, have my own little recycling situation happening. I mean, it's coming out of me. Why not put it back into my body so it can do what it does? And that's just it. So I definitely intend to do that this time around. All right. I'm going to replace all of my full cream milks, all of my, I'm lactose intolerant anyway. So what am I even doing drinking the people? Hey, give me a second. Not him not caring that I'm filming a video. I'm lactose intolerant anyway, so what am I doing drinking cow's milk anyways, right? So yeah, I feel like that's enough rambling for now. Those are the two major mistakes that I intend not to repeat with this baby this time around. Ooh, one thing that I need to kind of give you guys a heads up about is when your baby is hungry, your boobs literally start leaking. And so like right now, if he wakes up, like he's on the other side of the apartment in his room, if he wakes up, it's because he's hungry, my boobs are going to start leaking. So it's like a clear indication, like, okay, he's awake, he's hungry. I don't know, it's like a It's like a weird sort of signal that it sends off. Wild. The next thing is, when you are breastfeeding, if he's drinking from one side, the other side is going to start leaking, because I don't know, it's just that weird signal situation that's happening. So it's like your body is constantly producing milk. Now here's the funny but not so funny part, right? You need to constantly be extracting the milk from your boobs, because if you don't, your boobs are literally going to become like rocks. You're going to feel like almost like stones developing inside of your boobs, and that is just because if there isn't like a free flow of milk coming out of your milk ducts, your milk ducts could literally get clogged and they start feeling like stones. So sometimes, depending on if let's say he's not on the boob throughout the entire night and there's like a buildup of milk in my boobs, sometimes I get up and both of my boobs feel like rocks. They're super hard. It's super painful. I feel like the most frustrating part about breastfeeding is just how much your boobs leak. So you really need the right undergarments in order to have a comfortable experience every single day. So I definitely recommend sports bras. Right now I'm wearing a strapless padded bra, and that's just because all of my sports bras are in the laundry as we speak. You definitely need breast pads or some sort of covering for like your nipples, so that when your boobs start leaking, it doesn't leak all over your t-shirts or your clothes or whatever. Because baby, when your boobs start leaking, it starts leaking like a pipe. Take my advice. One thing that they definitely do not tell you after giving birth is that the contractions that you feel leading up to giving birth and then during your labor process, it doesn't stop after you give birth. You still feel the contractions in your stomach because obviously your womb is going back to its regular size. And then with breastfeeding actually helps your stomach to go back, your womb to go back to its regular size. And that in itself, my loves, is extremely painful. I think it's like on the same level with like labor pains. It's so painful. The first night was painful as hell. The second night was painful as hell. It eases up. It eases up with every passing day, but the first and second night was, whoo, baby. It was like labor all over again. So I'll definitely warn you guys about that. All right. But breastfeeding definitely helps with getting your stomach back to its original state, nice and flat, etc., etc. So you definitely want to breastfeed. If not for your baby, do it for you. And I don't mean to make it sound like that, because obviously you want to breastfeed for the well-being of your baby. But if you don't want to do it for your baby, do it for you. All right, breastfeeding definitely helps you to get back to your best self. All right, and I wish that I had knew that with Aiden. But now that I know it, I'm definitely going to, just enjoy this part of the process this time around. And if you guys also just had babies and maybe you're just looking at this video for some support, or maybe you're sorting after a specific bit of information, I hope this video was helpful. All right, definitely leave me a like, leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know that you guys are here. Oh, I need some water. Let me know that you guys are here. Let me know if this video was helpful. And of course, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.
Oh, we fell apart just in time.